All right, guys, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Stage. This is where I get to talk to so many different people about so many different esports events and what they do, how they do it, how they got there, and how you might potentially be able to come up and join them eventually. This week, we have an amazing guest. I'm honored that he has said yes to come on. Michal is our guest this week, and he is the head photographer for LEC at Riot Games, so the European League leg of League of Legends. Michal, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me. I couldn't say no to you, so here we are.
I mean, you could definitely say no to me anytime you wanted to. But no, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. So for people that don't really know you or Riot or League of Legends somehow, could you give a brief introduction about yourself, please?
So, hi everyone. As Drift said, my name is Michal. I'm the head photographer or lead photographer. Doesn't really matter. I'm the guy who's running around with the cameras and taking photos of our lovely pro players from our European League scene.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yes. And now that Riot have launched the Riot Studios in Berlin, that is pretty much where you exist for a lot of time, right, during the season?
Yeah, a lot of my friends are joking that where's my tent, because I've spent so much time there, especially now that Riot, as you said, kind of revamped and rebuilt the entire studio and made it so that it can host different games, not only League of Legends but Valorant also. That's kind of the second main title that's taking place there. So we can have like 6 days straight of 3 days of VCT, 3 days of LEC, then 1 day off, and then we do it again and again and again and again. So that's what I meant by a lot of my friends are asking, where's my tent? Where do I sleep? Do I sleep? Do I even go to a hotel, an apartment, whatever? Do I even have time to take a shower? And yes, I do.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you have time to at least take a shower. Hygiene is important. Please make sure you eat some food as well. I'm sure Riot looks after their staff and there is good catering on site, but yeah, please make sure you get some food and have a shower and rest as well. Please, sleep is definitely important. So Michal, I know you from LEC and the work you've done with Riot and all that, but what I don't know is where you started from. So what's your history with esports? Or being a photographer as well. Like, where did you start? What snowboarded you into where you are now?
To be fair, the story is quite fun, and it's not going to be anything like majorly spectacular. But TLDR, I was in the right place at the right time, and that's literally what happened. But going back to literally 2014, that's when my entire kind of adventure with esports started. I've been reached out by Riot, by one of their employees and my dear friend Bartosz, who still works there. He literally dropped me a message, hey, do you want to go to Gamescom? I'm like, yeah, why? So listen, we have the community side of things and we have the esport. It was the summer, back then it was called EULCS, so EULCS Summer Finals. But since I didn't have any experience when it came to esports directly, he offered, hey, do you want to take care of the community side of things? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, knowing how usually Gamescom works is like, yeah, there's going to be a teeny tiny booth or something like that. And like, yeah, sure. Just let me know when and where to come, and I'll gladly join you. It's like, cool. So I arrive in Cologne, meet up with Bartosz. I arrived the day earlier. He decided, okay, so drop your stuff and let's go to the venue. I'll show you around. Again, saying that in my mind was like, maybe a booth, maybe two, nothing major. It's like going to be this and that. So in 2014, Riot showed off the completely revamped Summoner's Rift.
Yes.
And they fully recreated that map on the floor of Gamescom.
Oh, wow.
There are like a few big halls that vendors can kind of show up their stuff in.
Yeah.
And Riot showed off 2/3 of the biggest hall.
Wow.
So I was literally going around scratching my head like, what have I got myself into? Like, literally one stage was one Nexus, the other stage was on the opposite side of the hallway, on the hall. It was the second Nexus, turrets, everything, and everything had something happening. Like, there was cosplayers, there were like gaming stations that you could test out the new map and so on and so on. It was like, oh my god, what have I got myself into? But okay, the first day came. We arrived there early and kind of prepared myself. I got to meet the person who was taking care of the community side of things. He was amazing and very welcoming. He immediately saw that, yeah, he didn't tell you everything, right? Nope. So this is a big surprise. But all in all, like the first day is always the hardest when you kind of get into the groove of every event. Every other day went by faster and faster. Like the amount of people that were there that year, it was just mind blowing. I've never ever experienced something like that. And before that, I was kind of into concept photography, but that was nothing, literally nothing compared to what I've experienced there. And that's kind of how my my journey in esports started. Yeah. After that, I was like, okay, that was a cool experience, probably a one-off. That's going to be it. And then in December, I was reached out by Riot again. Okay. With a mysterious email. Hey, can we jump in on a call? It's like, sure. Okay. Is this kind of a evaluation of what I did in Cologne, or okay, let's go. Right. I jumped to the call. The first thing was like, hey, I'm going to send you something. Read it through. And if you're okay with it, please sign it. It was my first ever NDA. Oh, wow. Because in December, Riot didn't announce yet that they're moving everything from Cologne to Berlin to a completely new studio, and everything's going to be completely new. Everything's going to be run by Riot. So that was a shocker that a company like that, first of all, reached out to me. Well, apparently I did something right. So, okay, that was that. And then after the meeting, or kind of during the meeting, I was offered the opportunity to come to Berlin and work on EOLCS. It's like, okay, that's big. Yeah, that's big. Okay, let's go. And after that call, I quickly called Bartosz and was like, hey, what am I going to actually do there? Oh, you're going to do studio photography. And that's the key to the whole disaster that was approaching. So normally for a photographer like me, studio photography means backdrops, flashes, stuff like that, right?
Studio setup.
Exactly.
Traditional studio setup.
Yeah. So I arrive in Berlin in January. It's like, okay, let me show you the studio. And we walk into the whole broadcast studio. He omitted that one tiny little detail, that one word. He didn't call it a broadcast studio. But yeah, first day on the job, I submitted my photos and everything. And I was like, yeah, that's not really what we're looking for. I was like, okay, I got my shot, blew it. I don't know if I can curse here, but it happens.
You can. It happens. You can definitely curse. That's fun.
It happens.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, I was kind of, feeling not great. And after like 2 days, again, an email popped in, like, so this is what we exactly want from you,
Right.
and so on, and we would like you to try it again. It's like, okay, 48 hours, super hard grind, crashing the depths of the interwebs for any photos that I can find of pure good esport photography.
Right.
Back then, there were like 4 or 5 photographers in the entire world, maybe.
Yeah.
And I came across Helena Christensen and, of course, Joe Brady. It was like, my 2 lords and saviors. I have studied every single photo that I could find that those 2 have taken. I have literally deconstructed everything and went on kind of with new knowledge, new ideas. It's like, okay, let's go. Now I know exactly what they want from me, what true esports photography is. Let's go. We can do this.
Yeah.
So I've went on doing the second week, and after that, well, kind of the rest is history. I'm still there, still working with them, still taking photos. So I assume that I'm still doing stuff right.
Yeah, no, exactly. A name that pops up quite often at the moment is Joe. I definitely need to get him on, I think, before he runs off to Japan.
Yeah, sure.
He's a great guy. He's helped me out so many times as well. And yeah, I would love to get Helena on as well, but she seems to be a very busy person. More busy than most people, I would say. So trying to get her on will be a miracle in itself. But yeah, so from 2014, did you say, with Gamescom?
Yes.
2014 to basically that December, where, esports, esports is still growing, but back then, League of Legends, we only really had Dota 2, and StarCraft, really. And so all the events were all expo size. They were pretty much like Gamescom. They weren't like a proper studio like Riot has now, or even back then when they first opened. So yeah, definitely a shock. And I'm missing one simple word, broadcast in a broadcast studio. Definitely a different setup from a normal backdrop, lights, and you're the actual camera. So you did amazing. Like, they asked you to come back. Riot took a second chance, which is amazing. A lot of companies, I say, don't normally have a second chance or give you a second chance. I'm not too sure on that front, but the fact that they gave you a second chance, you did your homework. Helena, Joe, again, great guys, great people. The height of the internet back then, where everyone was posting everything online, social media wasn't a cesspool of filth yet, as such.
Yeah. The good old days.
Good old days, honestly, right? So, and then, working for Riot since then till now. We're 2025 as of recording. So that's at least 12, 15 years, if my maths is correct. My maths could be very, very wrong right now. 10 years at least.
Right now, this season is my 11th season.
There you go, 11th
of League of Legends.
League of Legends, yeah, exactly. And then obviously Riot, strength to strength. Teamfight Tactics, Valorant. I was just watching Game Changers just before we started recording this. G2 unfortunately lost. Spoilers. G2 goes in even. Oh, sorry. Yeah, could you? Sorry. I do support G2 goes in are my Game Changers team, so I'm very sad on that score.
You're not alone in that. To be fair,
hell yeah. You also have
love this squad, love those girls. Honestly, they're absolutely amazing and amazing to work with.
I bet. Like, they seem like a fun bunch. Like all the teams do. And Adela, who we had on previously on this podcast, she is unfortunate traitor and supports Shopify Rebellion. But again, those girls are now on the American.
Friendship ultra
gone. But no, all the teams, all the people in Game Changers all seem amazing and lovely. And it's something I definitely like to support because it's very, not different, but much needed in the esports scene. But that's enough of me talking about Riot and Valorant. But even though we're talking about you, and you work for Riot, so it's come full circle once again. Was you at Worlds? Have you been to Worlds previously? Like, being a Riot photographer, there's also the American version of you, is one way to put it, is Colin.
Yes.
And you, obviously, for EU. I'm guessing you both work together. You've done Worlds?
Me, personally, I've done Worlds in 2015, 19, 21, 22, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've done a few.
Something... I've done few. I haven't done all of them. But yeah, like talking about Riot, like I still work with other TOs, so sometimes there's just a conflict in dates. Of course, that's just pure and simple. If I commit myself to an event like earlier in the year, I cannot say like, hey, I got an offer, be like going to Worlds, so sorry, but I'll have to bounce. Like, no, that's not me. If I commit, I'll follow through.
100%, and that is just the cost of business, right? As a freelancer, whoever announces their events first and whoever reaches out first, if your calendar is free, you would normally say yes. If you like to work,
absolutely.
And once you say
that's all the nature of the game.
Yeah. But how did you find those Worlds? Like, how was photography working in a studio in Berlin to doing Worlds in different countries in the world?
Like 2015. To be fair, I'm still shocked that I got the offer. Like only a few months of doing League, but still, Riot Central, because that's the entity within Riot Global,
right?
So they kind of live in California, close to the whole global office. So they kind of take care of all the international events, and they reached out to me and was like saying, "Hey, do you want to come to London?" That was the group stage.
Yes, I think so.
I believe that was the group stage. So I was kind of again taking care of community / cosplaying and a bit of esports. Then we moved into Brussels. That was full kind of esports, and then the finals in Berlin in Mercedes-Benz Arena. That was full esports mode. My first ever League of Legends World Championship finals. That was really, really something, really spectacular. Like seeing Faker doing the front flip, eating raw broccoli. The vegetable of world champions, apparently.
Yeah, sure. What a broccoli is very
So yeah, that was really, really amazing. After that, from the kind of major events, I also did MSI. And sadly, I say sadly because the event is no longer kind of being done, which is All Stars.
Oh, yeah, All Stars. I completely forgot about All Stars. That used to be a thing, yeah.
See, that used to be such an amazing and fun event. Like, till this day, All Stars 2016, it was in Barcelona.
Yes.
Still my all-time favorite event. Literally nothing comes close to the amount of fun and laugh we had during that event. That was just something absolutely bonkers, absolutely ridiculous on so many levels, but it was just about pure fun. And that was great about it.
Okay, cool. That's good to hear. I hope Riot brings it back in one way or another.
Me too.
Like,
also, side note, hearing Pentakill with an orchestra live.
Oh,
cherry on top.
that sounds amazing. I wish I was there for that. Jeez. Oh,
Beautiful.
and again, like you mentioned earlier, you were more used to concert photography gigs as such, right?
Yes.
So doing that would have been amazing, I'm sure. Oh God, I wish I was there though. Damn.
You messed up, man.
There's still time. I'm not sure Riot have made a Pentakill song in some time. The band's still there technically, but I could live with hope. Right. So, your career as such so far has been with League of Legends, LCS, EU LCS, Riot, for the last 11 years, 11 seasons even. You've seen a lot, you've done a lot, you've traveled a bit for the company, for everything here, and obviously with a bit of freelance on the side as well, so you don't just do Riot gigs. What are you most known for, Michal? In terms, what photographic shot that you've taken do you think is the most well-known piece?
Like, personally, I think the shot of Uzi winning his first international trophy, that was MSI 2017 in Paris.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know that I took the photo, but there's this moment that literally Uzi kind of grabs the trophy and kind of brings his forehead close to it, closes his eyes, and just he's in that moment. He's just there. Nothing and no one in the entire world exists. It's just him and that trophy. After being so close so many times, he finally lifted an international trophy. Like, he finished second so many times. Like, that whole storyline is so beautiful. Like, till this moment, whenever I get asked, what's your favorite photo? I think that still is that one.
So that no, nice. No, I've definitely come across it once or twice. It is definitely like an amazing shot. Like, people listening or people watching, please go find Michal's work. You will see it all on Riot's websites as well. It will be there somewhere. Just look out for that shot from Uzi at MSI 2017.
2017, yeah.
Yeah, 2017. That shot was definitely when Uzi won that one. Oh my days. Yeah, that was a good MSI.
Well, that was really something.
Yeah.
Still remember that Dragon X was supposed to like go 3-0 finals, done and done. Nah. Nope.
We're doing this.
Didn't happen.
No.
RNG really put up a fight.
Yeah.
And thankfully they won. That was a really, really beautiful moment.
Yeah. It's always great when the underdogs win. Just dig your heels in, fight for it, and just do what you can. Like,
it's actually weird hearing RNG from that era and being the underdog. It still kind of cracks me up, but yeah, technically they were the underdog because no one really gave them a chance.
No.
They were supposed to kind of go 3-0, goodbye, done and done.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll just have this over in half an hour, guys. Just don't unpack the bags and just go straight to the airport. Like, nah, we're fighting for this. We're fighting for this, and yeah. So, sorry, was he going to say something?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
So, when you first got signed up by Riot to work in their studio in Berlin, and you spoke to your friend Bartosz, who didn't say the word broadcaster studio, just said studio. You obviously, you mentioned having a bit of a rough time on that first day, and having that feedback about what you delivered. Not something anyone ever wants to hear, honestly.
No.
But you came back from it. They called you back. You learned from it. You built up the knowledge, and you came in swinging and delivered everything they wanted and more. And you're now there again, 11 seasons later. So how would you define success in your career? Like, you've been in with Riot for 11 seasons, 11 years now. Like, what's what is success to you?
To be fair, a few years ago, I would say something completely different that I'm about to say.
Yeah.
This might be a tiny bit controversial, but bottom line, this is a job, right?
Yes.
Being a freelancer, working for different clients, either it's TOs, teams, I don't know, brands, doesn't really matter. But bottom line, and every single time, I define success when the client is happy. That's kind of the success, that kind of the grown-up version of me, or the old fart, as a few of my dear friends call me. Sure. Yeah, I'm the old guy of the group, as you can say, and you can tell.
I mean, you've got a great beard. I don't think that makes you old. Yeah. It's just a great beard.
But currently, the definition of success is kind of making the clients happy, and by extension of that is kind of keeping the clients coming back to you. Because bottom line, that, as I said, that is a job.
Yes.
And as long as the clients are happy, the clients keep coming back. Being able to kind of provide for my family, not kind of worry about what's going to happen for the next month or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is kind of the success that I want, and apparently I want it. Back a few years back, I would I want to be, the lamp went out. Oh, well, no more ambient. A few years back, I would say, I would like to be called the best of that and this and that. Like, to be fair, as long as I can work on great events, work with great people, kind of share the passion with other photographers that I really call my close friends. I'm happy. That's kind of the success that I would kind of want for everyone to have.
Yeah.
The peace of mind and just focusing on your work, on your craft, delivering amazing shots, keeping consistent. I think that's my definition of success.
And that's a great definition of success. Of success, like having clients come back to you, making sure the client's happy with what you've delivered. There are obviously a few questions within those 2 points. Like, obviously, aside from delivering what the client wants, how else are you able to make them happy?
Like, I always have the approach, let's say for events, I always kind of have two sides of the coin. Let's phrase it like that.
Sure.
First, it's like delivering the kind of basic shots. So every single player needs to have like 2-3 good shots. That doesn't even need to kind of include like crazy reactions or anything like that. But it's like good, clean shots of every single player, like wider shots of the entire team, because that's always helpful for socials, for any articles, anything like that. That's kind of the mindset that I have with the approach to working on events. When I have like the venue part of every event, always deliver like empty arena shots, then the wide shots of the full venue and so on. So that is kind of classified by me as the basic shots.
Okay.
And then you kind of build up on that. So more kind of crazy angles, more creativity. You capture the raw passion, the raw emotions of the players. Like, that's something that kind of is my go-to kind of quote-unquote list of how I approach every event.
Okay.
Start from the basics and then build up from that. Like, sadly, I can honestly say that a lot of young photographers, aspiring photographers, only kind of focus on the flashy shots, and don't BS.
I'm one of those.
Bull. I call bull right now. But a lot of people just focus on the flashy shots, and don't really consider that you have to build the content for your client.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you get one amazing shot, but of one player. Simple example.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like 9 other players, plus coaches, plus supporting staff, plus the entire venue, fans. Where's that? Oh, because I wanted to focus on that. Like, no, that's not gonna fly.
No.
So again, my approach is that first the basics and then build up from that. Doing the basic shots can take like, I don't know, in CS terms, like few rounds, and you have that done and dusted.
Yeah.
I can focus on now the more creative stuff, on capturing as I mentioned, the kind of more raw emotions.
Yeah.
The banter, all of that good stuff. But yeah, that's kind of my approach. Also, the thing that a lot of people hate doing is kind of the marketing photos. Yes, that is kind of a pain, because literally everyone or anyone could kind of go, take a phone, click, done.
Yeah.
But as a photographer, your client can make you, or at least ask you to, hey, we need a cool creative photo of this sign, of the venue outside, of the whole branding, and so on and so on. This is kind of what pays the bills. Like, let's be honest. The sponsors are the people who are bringing in the cash.
Yeah.
That eventually will trickle down to your account. So very easy peasy.
Yes.
First, make your client happy, and then make their client happy.
Yeah.
That's kind of the nature of the game. Never forget that sponsors are kind of the reason that the entire event is happening.
So true. And again, it's whilst because this is pretty much a Riot themed episode of the podcast. LEC, LCS, Worlds, any broadcast you see of League of Legends, you will have the halftime moment where it's sponsored by MasterCard of the goal difference. And the casters do say MasterCard because it is sponsored by MasterCard. You have to throw in the sponsor's name. It is just part and parcel of business.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like any other events, like, for example, in halftime between 2 maps, you will have the lovely sponsors graphics on the main LED screen.
Yeah.
You find a good spot, you take the shot, bam, bam, done.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
It's simple.
Make a good, simple but clean shot.
Yes.
Done. Don't argue about it. Just go and do it.
You are being paid to do a job. You should go do it.
Exactly.
That's pretty much the basics, honestly. I'll class that as the basics. Like, if you are working for a client and it's an event where there is sponsorship and they go like, hey, we need sponsorship photos, like, that should be part and parcel, I think. But obviously, you need to ask that question of, hey, what shots do you need of the sponsors? Is it just a simple backdrop, or is it on the big screen and you need a photo of that? I ask these questions mainly selfishly because I need to learn and I want to learn, because I'm not in the industry. I'm not deep in the industry like yourself, and I love to learn from my peers. And so the business side of town, I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I am definitely working on it. But getting insight from experienced individuals like yourself, like Adela, like Stephanie. All you guys are amazing. Rob as well, Rob Paul. Shout out to all of you guys. Like you guys have just been my mentors since I first picked up a camera and found out that people went to events for Counter-Strike and StarCraft and League of Legends, and the list goes on. So that's making your client happy. You take the shots, you do the basics, then you build on that. You do the sponsor shots, do the marketing shots. The marketing team gets happy, sponsors get happy, they pay everyone else, and it trickles down to you. How is there anything special that you do to get clients coming back to you, aside from obviously the fact of delivering a great package?
That's a good question. What do I do that people come back to me? Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, I'm a good person.
There you go. That counts.
I try to be as easy to work with as I could possibly can.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Whatever needs to be done, I will do it. If I come across an idea, I will try to at least like talk to someone like, hey, like this will be a horrible example probably. Steph, you're gonna cringe a lot by remembering this moment. But last CS:GO major ever,
yes,
Paris, France.
Mm-hmm.
I've pushed an idea of taking the trophy, not knowing how it looks. Like, hey, I'm volunteering myself to wake up at 5 a.m. before all of the traffic, all of the touristy bits are going to be overcrowded and so on.
Yeah.
I will take the trophy, just provide me with a driver, a car, and that's it. I will take some beauty shots of the trophy with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and like I had few other places in mind. It was like, great, amazing, go for it. I got delivered the trophy. I opened the box. I immediately, hey, I got the MVP trophy. No, that's the trophy. Oh, okay. Okay, so the next morning comes, wake up super early. That was on game day, because that was Friday. Yeah, still. Again, dedication to the product.
Yeah.
Did kind of what I assumed would be a good social media post or any kind of article stuff related stuff.
Yeah.
And got back to the hotel, delivered the photos before we actually had to go to the venue. Everyone was super happy. Everyone was super grateful.
Good.
And those kind of ideas, I kind of try to push, might be a strong word, but suggest that, hey, we're in an iconic place. The trophy would look nice somewhere, not only in the center stage. Like, let's kind of yell that, hey, we're in Paris, we're in France, we're in London, like whichever, like we're in Berlin, let's go to the kind of it's the Angel of Victory, a beautiful golden monument. We have the Jesus, what was that, what was the name? I'm running blind right now. I'm really sorry, but there's one more very iconic monument in central kind of Berlin.
Guys, if you know what Michal is, which monument Michal is talking about, please drop a comment below.
Please don't laugh at me. I've been going to Berlin for 11 years now, and I'm running completely blank.
That's perfectly fine. I barely know Berlin myself, so I don't know the monument about. But
come on. If a place has a spot that is very iconic, like I will try and at least convince a TO to, hey, let's take the trophy there.
Yeah.
And that idea kind of originated from LEC.
Okay.
That we started to take the trophy outside in kind of the landmarks and try to kind of compose a shot with the trophy and the iconic location. And like amazing stuff to post on socials, on articles. Like for some time now, even our shots are being used in like promotional videos.
Yeah.
So that's also something amazing that not only, for example, the social media or marketing department can benefit from, but also the features department, the video department.
Yeah.
So everyone gets kind of a piece of that content.
And so you keep mentioning this. I need to ask the question. Like when you take a photo, back when you first started, obviously now that you have experience, it's slightly different. But back when you started working for Riot, started working in the studios, taking these photos, you keep mentioning taking these shots for publications, for articles. Did you used to take shots with that in mind, or did you just take shots because
not at first?
Yeah.
That kind of evolved in my head once I got the grip of what exactly am I supposed to shoot, what am I supposed to deliver.
Yeah.
And then after meeting new people that were responsible for social media, for marketing, it kind of started not maybe defining, but sparking that idea. Okay, this shot, it's nothing spectacular, but it would be a good shot for marketing.
Yeah.
This one would be a great shot for social media, something like that.
Yeah.
Even now, we're kind of working so close with the social media people. Amazing guys, by the way. That we're trying to do something slightly goofy, slightly more kind of engaging.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, let's say we would have Reckless and the new kid on the block Upset.
Yeah.
Like going face to face, the famous arms crossed.
Yeah.
Pose, staring each other down, like on somewhere either on the stage before the games, before everything even started. Like that was kind of the teaser for the match of the week. Yeah. Or any kind of stuff like that. Or after some years, like a quick example, like the good old G2 2019 era team kind of disbanded. Everyone went to a different team. So I came up with the idea, hey, let's take a group shot of every single player that's now in a different team. Let's do a reunion photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
People love that.
Honestly,
people absolutely love that.
I do. I love that.
Five different jerseys and still friends. Of course, outside the Rift. On the Rift is like, nobody. Yeah. No.
Excuse me. No, exactly. It's stuff like that is good content. Like, especially for someone that has followed the game for so long and someone that has worked in the scene for so long, like yourself. Like, yeah, the era of G2 dominating Europe. Like, that is, yep. If you knew about that era, that was it. That was G2 versus T1. That was basically Expeke, or not Expeke. Who was on G2 back then? Oh, my mind's going to go blank now.
Perks, Miki, Caps,
yeah,
Wonder, and Jankos.
Yeah, Jankos. Yeah, that team versus like T1, which still has Faker, and the team built around Faker. But it was that was it then, and now obviously it's slightly changed. G2 disbanded, unfortunate, or everyone's gone somewhere else. Caps still playing, and you see him on the international stage still, which is amazing. Jankos is still playing, I think. I'm pretty sure I've seen him still.
No, he is not playing at this moment.
Oh.
To be fair, I don't know what's the deal. If he got offers, but he wasn't interested. Honestly, don't know. But currently he's not playing.
Fair. That should that.
Let's say he's taking a sabbatical.
Like, because he again, world class players take a sabbatical, take a break, do what you want, find out what you want to do. If you want to still be in the scene, you want to be a coach or be a mentor, whatever, that's perfectly fine. But I hope everything is well with everyone on that team and in general. Went a bit of a roundabout there, but yeah, taking shots, making Steph cringe, which is always fun. Taking the trophy, taking it around Paris as such. Like, yeah, you got the Eiffel Tower, you got the Arc de Triomphe, you got the Louvre. Plenty of places to go and take some iconic shots of the trophy in iconic locations. That is a great idea, and doing it for content. Marketing people have marketing, social media, articles, taking those shots, taking that product as such, delivering it so that you have something to give out. And the question I was asking was that how do you make clients come back to you? But I think we've answered that one, really. You are a very nice person. You do deliver a great product, and you are wonderful to work with. And I think that is the key to a lot of situations. Like, who do we put on the list to hire if an event is going on? And if they are not available, who else is on that list? And you are obviously in that top 3, especially within Europe, maybe even in the US, maybe around the world, Michal. But, you are on that list. People do come back to you. You have lots of opportunities to work with different teams and different TOs, which is amazing. You're silenced. You're shocked. But no, I think that is.
I honestly don't know how to respond to that. You said so many nice things. I'm honestly not used to hearing so many compliments.
And that is partly why I also have this podcast. It's called Behind the Stage, because I want to show light, which we shouldn't really do behind the stage, on people behind the camera and talking about how they got there, how they're doing, how they got to where they are now, how they became successful, and how other people could join in, but also to give thanks for all the hard work people like yourself do, because without you guys, there wouldn't be people like me that get inspired by your work. And that goes across to everyone that has been on this podcast, and everyone that hopefully listens, learns something as well. So yeah, take a moment to appreciate that compliment. I'm going to ask a question so we have a brief pause. So I think that I was also like having the CS:GO trophy in Paris and doing that location. I think, I might say, I'm going to say it for you, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, like one of the most successful shots you've done, because it changed the game as such. Other people do it, but, doing it for CS:GO, the final CS:GO tournament in Paris, in France, definitely an iconic moment, because that was an end of an era. Like, CS2 was not a thing till recently. And again, in my previous episode, which has dropped, I started in CS 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, and that was where I first started playing competitively. I wasn't good, but, I tried.
You tried. Hey.
That's right. And now I'm sweaty in Valorant. I solo queue. It's horrible. Please don't ever solo queue. If you see me online, just ignore me. Don't perceive me. I don't exist. So really, the question I have, going back to what you do in Berlin, in the Riot Studios, you are the head, and your title really even, you are the head photographer, the lead photographer for League of Legends EU Europe. I don't think, and please correct me here, that there must be, but there doesn't seem to be, any other photographers working alongside you during the season.
Actually, there are.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said that. Like, we need to bring that to these people, because obviously it's one man doing a lot of work is very hard. There needs to be more people. So I'm glad you said that. Who are these people? Like, who are these people?
The kind of person who kind of takes over photography for LEC and VCT. His name is Wojciech Wanzel. again, funny story how we met, because we met because of League back in 2015 in Madrid. That was on my first spring finals. So again, we arrived at the hotel. Wojciech sadly had his flight cancelled, so he had to wait for a later one. But all in all, he finally arrived. We met up, had dinner, introduced ourselves, blah blah blah. We go back to the hotel. Oh, wait, room? Why do we have a room together? Okay, this friendship will go 0 to 100 really fast. Okay, like all in all, the hotel was fully booked, so we didn't mind. But we went up to the room. There was a single bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, we were two grown-ass men.
Yeah.
Me married. Wojciech was kind of about to be married. So we're like, yeah, I think we don't know each other that well. So let's go and at least find a room that we can switch with someone that has two beds. Because as I said, we didn't really kind of had any issues with kind of being in the same room.
Sure. But everything to be.
Yeah, one bed that was the issue. Yeah, that was crossing the line.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I found after so many years that getting to know Wojciech back then and kind of being kind of forced to be in one room, we've spent every single evening like just talking about photography, like non-stop. Like at one point before the finals, we were talking, yapping. We looked at the watch. Dude, it's 4 a.m.
Oh.
And we have to be at the venue at 9:30.
Oh,
we are screwed. So what we did, we talked more for another hour, then went to bed.
Coffee is the same.
Yeah. Yes. He doesn't drink coffee, so I still don't remember how he survived, but I'm a heavy coffee drinker. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, all in all, kind of that sparked the friendship. He worked with us on almost every single final that we had. Yeah. And for the past year and a half, he's kind of working, or even 2 years, to be fair. He is working with me whenever I have kind of some other obligations to other TOs. Sure. Or other clients. Yeah. And he jumps in and he kind of takes over photography. Okay. That's kind of the deal right now. And from time to time, a good friend of mine, Alexander Weber, also kind of jumps in and helps out. So yeah, kind of, I want to say that the family is growing.
Good. I'm glad. And shout out to Alex as well. Mr. Weber is a great guy. Like, he is a award-winning director now. You know, he has a film out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lovely guy. Okay, so there's Wojciech, there's yourself, there's Alex. So there is a team as such.
Yes.
Which is good. But if they weren't there, if Alex and Wojciech wasn't there, and Riot Studios suddenly became 2-3 times the size it is now, and somehow it's suddenly turned into a full 16-hour day of LEC split and VCT as well.
Oh my god,
please no, no one can handle that.
No,
even once you go, that's just too much. But you need to build a team out. You need to build a team because you just can't cover it by yourself. What would you look for in a team of photographers? Look, we'll keep it simple. We'll keep it as photographers. What aspects or traits would you want in a photographer?
The first thing that kind of is a must-have, you have to be a team player. That's kind of the must-have, and by that I mean, if let's say we have 3 photographers, we divide kind of and conquer. Like, you will focus on this team, you will focus on the other team. The third person is kind of supporting them both, but let's say you're focusing on the wider shots, or like more from the back, something like that, or focus on the casters, analyst desk, the crowd, and so on. Like, no one should have an issue with that. Like, you're here to do this, you will do that, I'll do this.
Yep.
No issues whatsoever. Like, I sadly came across a few people that were very young, very aspiring, but ended up just wanting to become a photographer for the worst reasons you could possibly imagine, just to be close to their idols.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, I can see this and that person. Like, no, that's the worst possible reason to become a photographer in esports.
Yes.
That, although, to be fair, any kind of photography that has any kind of stars in it, like, no, please don't do anything else, but don't do this. Like that's the. Hopefully this has changed, because a few years ago, when, let's say, we were doing kind of tryouts for few people.
Okay.
Again, they were super young, aspiring, and I just wanted kind of to cover my basics, like, in a sense that I get sick, I cannot come to the studio for, I don't know, any reason. I break a leg, whatever.
Please not. But yes,
Let's put you. And let's have a backup that lives in Berlin or very, very close, and kind of can jump in at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So I had 4 people. After having kind of the initial talk with each and every one of them, 2 people were sent back home. Wow. Again, wrong reasons to be here.
Sure.
Very wrong reasons. The third person gave up after 2 hours, saying that this is too much work.
Sorry.
Because again, that's the other thing that a lot of people, I don't know, don't understand, don't know, that we're not just running around for fun and just clicking a button.
I wish.
Yeah, if it was only that easy.
If only, honestly.
We love what we do.
Yes.
We do it with a crazy passion, but it is really hard work.
Yes.
Like, it's not only taking photos. You have to be constantly creative, constantly aware. You have to constantly take photos. You have to run back, manage your time wisely to dump the photos, go through them, edit them, upload them, rinse and repeat. Yeah. And that's the entire day. And let's say you're doing a major, that's what, 3 weeks? Easily.
Yes.
It's non-stop, like 10, 14 hours days. Yeah. Easily. Yeah. Worlds used to be almost 2 full months. Yeah. Non-stop. Now it's slightly more condensed, so it's not as dragged out. But yeah, like 2019, I believe, was one of the longest running Worlds, because it was like 2 months and a week. Yes, something like that. Yeah, that was crazy long. Yeah. To be fair, we did have some days, some of. Yeah. Not really.
No. Somewhat off days, but not really, of course.
Yes, because it's always either rehearsals or features or media days or any other things, but still. So as I mentioned, the third person decided, oh no, I had the completely wrong understanding of what this work really means, how intense it is. The fourth person survived till the end of the day, but again, I tried not to be harsh because, again, going back to my first attempt, it was shit. Like, I was shit. Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So I gave that person feedback, and hey, if you want to maybe try it one more time, please let me know.
Yeah.
Never got the response. So, yeah, esports as photographers, it is hard work.
Yes.
It is really, really taxing. It's really involving in the sense that you have to be on your A game all the time.
Yeah.
We're all humans. We all have kind of off days that we're delivering photos, but we're looking at them as like, that's just, today is not my day.
Yeah.
If that happens to you during group stage or any other kind of early stages of the event, no biggie. But if it happens to you during the stage days or something like that, then if you have a great team of people that you trust with your life, they will carry you throughout that day.
Yeah.
They will help you. They will get your mind out of the gutter, and they will help you kind of bounce back.
Yeah.
That's kind of my definition of having a great team. It's not at the point of, like, let's say, again, 2 people or a team of 3, like one person is having a really shit day.
Yeah.
And the other, like, okay, let's leave a man behind. No. This is literally like the special forces.
Yeah.
You do not leave a man behind.
You drag them back with you.
So yes. So that's kind of that. Like, for example, me, Steph, Adela, we all had rough days. Like, okay, we were delivering photos, but we were looking at them like, this is shit. Like, honest to God, why are they paying me to be here? Those kind of low days.
Yeah, been there.
But then when you have friends that will kind of lift your spirit or literally just slap the living shit out of you to get your kind of head into the game, that's priceless.
Yes.
That's kind of when you know that the team is just built differently.
Honestly.
It's like you will go to hell and back, but you will deliver amazing stuff.
Yeah. And having worked with Stephanie, like, she is one of the best to help drag people out. And she may not say this, she may not appreciate it, she may not say it, but she's helped me out so many times. And I like to think that I potentially may have helped her once, possibly, but if not, there's always time to work with her again. So you were saying?
Absolutely. So again, going back to how would I kind of build a team?
Yeah.
First, as I said, you have to be a team player.
Yeah.
You have to support each other. There's no I in team, the famous quote.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But there's very very much depth into that.
Yes.
Like, really. Bottom line, if everyone delivers a good quality material and the overall look of the gallery is going to be pristine, is going to be great, amazing. It's not about one person getting the epic shot and the rest is like, oh yeah, great. Awesome. Superb. But it's all about teamwork.
Yes.
If you can have a group of people that will work together and support each other, then you already know that this event will go like a breeze, will be amazing, you will remember it, and the client will be happy.
Yeah. And everyone has a good time. Through the bad days, but the bad days don't count for much when there's more good days and you have people like Adela and Stephanie and yourself on the team bringing each other up and having a laugh at the same time. Because
Yes.
otherwise, we do it because we love what we do, but if you can't do it whilst laughing, it questions why do you want to still do it. And saying of having a great time and enjoying the event, like that is a nice segue into my next question. Like, what has been your favorite event to work?
I actually already answered that question. So,
Yeah.
but still, like this, the All-Star event was and still is kind of the event that I have the most amount of fun memories.
Sure.
Even though I worked with people I didn't know back then, but still, personally, I had so many cool situations, so many cool interactions with the talent, with the players. Everyone was just having a laugh, having a blast. That was, and will probably still be for a very, very long time, my favorite event, let's say from the fun ones.
Yeah.
From the kind of, let's say, more serious ones. Either the first Valorant Champs 2022,
Okay.
or the last CSGO Major.
Yeah, fair.
Because of two things. First of all, I know that Steph mentioned that during the podcast that Blast made a gigantic sign out of our photos.
Yes. Yeah.
Two grown-ass people could not focus for 30 seconds of just seeing that popped off on the big screen. Both of us, tears. Both. I'm not gonna lie, a teardrop, maybe a few, but yeah.
Bless. No, that is amazing. Honestly, that is, for better terms or better words, really, goals, really. Like having your work on a massive screen shown out to the public for a major event is just something you never think would happen, but it does.
Yeah.
And when you do see it,
that does really hit very differently.
Yeah.
In the most positive way possible. But that was something that neither of us expected.
Yeah.
Like, they asked us for the photos and everything, but it was like, yeah, sure, yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
Everyone asks for photos, especially inside the whole TO system.
Yeah.
But then seeing this, like, wow. that was the true wow moment.
I bet, honestly. One day, it's on the list. It's on my bucket list. Right, I have one last question about your role, and then we're going to get into some technical questions because I've been itching to ask you some technical questions about photography.
Shoot.
But it's not too technical about ISOs and whatnot. Don't worry about that whole aperture. Like, you, at the start of this podcast, you mentioned you were in the right place at the right time. You got a little bit lucky. And again, I always say this, I do not mean to demean anything that anyone has ever done by saying it's just luck. Luck is just hard work at the right time and the right place. And obviously you had your friend Bartosz who called you up and said, like, hey, do you want to come to Gamescom? Like, and with your 11 years of experience so far within the esports industry, what would you say to your younger self, if you could go back in time, or a new aspiring photographer getting into esports? You've already mentioned a few things like, hey, don't do it just to meet your idols. That's honestly, yeah, cool. You can meet Faker, but you have a job. Do the job first. And if Faker is eating breakfast in the same hotel as you, and you say hi, cool. Just leave it at that. But yeah, what would you say to aspiring photographers trying to get into the esports industry to get to where you are now?
Honestly, right now, it's such a different beast. 10, 15 years ago, esports was so small that if someone said, "Hey, can I come and take photos of your event?" Sure. Do we have to pay you? No. Oh. Hey. So yeah, that's how, like, 10, 15 years ago you would kind of jumpstart. But right now, from one point of view, it's actually much easier. And by that, I mean there's a lot of different events.
Okay.
Like a lot of things are happening, small events, like even on university level, on any like regional, local even. Start there, build up your portfolio, build up your skill set. Don't be the person that, hey, I've taken photos on 2 events in my backyard and I want to go and take photos during the major. Like, don't be that person.
It doesn't work.
You have no experience, and to be fair, I would take I won't say mediocre, but a average photographer, but with a lot of experience, over a great photographer with no experience.
Yeah,
like sense. You can be a great photographer in so many ways, but let's say you have 0 experience in esports, or a person that has been following and working inside the scene, but takes really okay photos, like nothing spectacular, just okay, good photos.
Yeah,
I would take that person every single time of the week.
Okay,
really. So, going back to your question, get the experience. I know that a lot of people will hate me for what I'm about to say, but get decent gear. Okay.
You don't have to have the flagship of Canon, Sony. I'm not going to say Nikon because we all know Nikon.
Okay, yeah.
So
yes, Canon, Sony, not Nikon, please. But whatever. Get something that is in like the middle of the road. Like that's plenty to start.
Yeah,
really. But I'm gonna call it out very, very loud. It's bullshit saying that your gear doesn't matter. It's bullshit. If every photographer who says, "Oh, the camera equipment doesn't matter," okay, then go and take photos of a football match of, let's say, Champions League finals.
Yeah,
but take I don't know what's the Sony A60-100 with a 100 to 500 zoom.
Yeah,
go and take spectacular photos, because gear doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, true.
And every single person that's saying that gear doesn't matter has like 3 R1s or R3s, 300 to 8, 400, 600, all of the other lenses in their backpacks, in their roller bags.
Yep.
Like, yeah, gear doesn't matter. No, I can only say that gear doesn't matter if you're at a certain point, and if your equipment doesn't limit you, then it stops matter. It stops to matter.
Yes.
But at one point, it's all about your experience. It's all about your knowledge. It's all about your skill.
Yeah.
But saying that to someone who is kind of getting into photography, or has already started and wants to take the next step, oh no, gear doesn't matter. No, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, everyone, but that's my version of the truth. and I strongly believe that gear matters, not to a overly stupid extent. If you're gonna ask me what I'm shooting with, I'm gonna kill myself because I'm gonna come out as the biggest ass ever.
No. Okay, so I agree with your point. That gear matters to an extent. The reason you have your gear, though, Michal, is that you've worked to be to that level, to that stage where the gear now doesn't limit you. You've confirmed your point, your rule, where you have hit that point where you have maybe top of the line gear, but you've earned that right to be there. Like, as a starting photographer, yes, you can use a basic camera and a kit lens. The lens, the glass doesn't matter when you start out. And as someone like myself that is a professionally amateur photographer, I am calling it out there, where professionally amateur, like, at some point you will hit that moment where you are going to these events on your own back, like I still do, and your gear is the limiter. You can't shoot in dark scenes. Stages, esports events, fighting game events, they are all pretty underlit in the nicest way. Like, you are going to get so much grain and your focus is going to be so out that you're just going to go like, I need to look at a new camera. And that is true. Like, again, you said the right point. You don't need top of the line. You yourself have just managed to get to the top of the line. Like, as someone like myself, I'm not at the top of the line. I have an A7 Mark III, and that's been going on for at least 5 years or less, slightly less. I can't remember how long I've had this camera for, but it's been abused to forever, and it's still working, and it does the job. Like, I think my photos are okay. They're not great, but they're okay, and I haven't hit the limit where I need to upgrade the camera outside of me wanting and having gear acquiring syndrome, which we won't talk about here. But you are.
No, let's stop.
Yeah, no, everything behind the camera, you can't see it. It's perfectly fine. So yeah, no, I do agree with your point. Like, gear matters to an extent, and people should realize that. People saying gear doesn't matter only is true when you start out, when you're learning how to use a camera and how, like, does this camera work in this environment? Because again, esports is very different to normal sports versus concert photography, to weddings, to parties, to anything else. So it's the right tool for the right job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now, speaking of gear, like, here's my technical questions. Like, I'm not going to ask you what you shoot with, what camera specifically you shoot with, but I am going to say, I'm assuming you are a Canon guy.
Yes, I am a newly reformed Canon person.
Okay.
I used to be a Sony shooter, which I advocated very hard for very, very many years.
Yeah.
But I've jumped ships quite a few times in my career.
Sure.
Because I started with a Nikon.
Yeah.
Brief pause. Then I moved to Canon, moved to Nikon again, went back to Canon, then spent there, like, I don't know, 8-9 years. And then Sony came out with the A7R2.
Yeah.
Bought it out of pure curiosity.
Oh, okay.
After 2 weeks, I sold everything that I had from Canon.
Jeez.
And moved completely to Sony.
Wow.
Because in that time, Sony also announced the R3 and A7 III.
Yeah.
So I sold the R2 quickly, or I even returned it, something like that. Don't really remember.
Yeah.
But I moved to the R3 and A7 III, and kind of been shooting that for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Then moved to A9s, then A1s, and then moved back to Canon because Sony pissed me off on so many levels.
Was it a menu system?
Oh, that wasn't even the baddest.
No,
I know they revamped the entire menu system, but I still strongly think it sucks. It's very unintuitive.
Yeah.
And no, I always said that Sony is a great camera, but the menu system is absolute and pure garbage. Whoever designed that layout should be fired, executed, whatever, but sent straight to hell. Because and I know this from a lot of my friends. Everyone had such a huge headache when we tried to do the most simple thing in the world, but it would take us 45 minutes to go through all of the sub menu.
Yeah.
To find, do you want to do a copy of card number 1 to card number 2 right away, or do you want to wait till the first card overfills? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, my biggest gripe with Sony was that maybe I don't have a huge hand, but it's like, let's say, fairly on the bigger side.
Sure.
And I hate grips that are attached because back in my early days, a grip failed spectacularly on me.
Oh.
I had it on a strap, screwed into the bottom. Yeah. The grip stayed, the camera fell on the ground. So from that point on, I just don't believe that. And sadly, Sony consistently is trying to cramp so much stuff into a really tiny body, and that is just not comfortable to me.
Agreed.
I was really hopeful that with the A92, I believe, or A1, they would introduce a integrated grip body. Yeah, but they didn't. So I'm like, okay, back to cow. Back to Canon.
Yeah. I agree with all your points, and yet I'm still on Sony, so I'm not sure what that says about me personally. Maybe I'm just a masochist. But it does the job. It does give me good pictures. Like, I'm just the user is the problem, is the one in the problem, not the gear. And speaking of straps, Adela uses holsters. You mentioned straps, so I'm assuming you're a strap person, or are you a holster guy now?
No, always double straps.
Yeah.
First of all, it's because of the camera that I use. They're kind of on the bulkier side.
Yeah.
And second of all, I've just been using the strap system for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I tried it once and I almost broke 2 cameras, so no. It's just, after 20 years of a certain habit, it's just hard to like kind of
break
it and learn something new.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's say it like that.
For sure. And this is not a sponsored section. This is not an advert. I'm guessing you use spider straps. Or is it a different brand?
It's Black Rabbit.
Black Rabbit. Yeah, spider holsters, Black Rabbit straps. Yes. Apologies. Yes, that's correct.
Like I still have my first kind of set that I bought 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It still holds. It's like all meshy.
Yeah.
But it's still in one piece. The carabiners are still intact. They still work.
Wow.
They didn't fall apart. They didn't break.
Yeah.
And I've been abusing mine. Like when people see me work, when I just go from one body and I just drop it and grab the other one, and just like a giant.
You're brave
because
you're brave.
Yeah, I really trust that system.
You really do. I have the Black Rabbit straps. I don't do that. I'm more worried about the lens just swinging off and hitting something whilst it falls down.
Oh, so come on.
Oh, honestly, no, you're a brand.
But yeah, that's kind of how I work. So I've been using them again for so many years, and it's been nothing but they've been nothing but good to me. Never failed.
And
Knock on wood.
Touch on wood, yeah. Like I've got to set myself, and I do use them now that I have a second body. It's just so handy, just to swap without stopping mid-set, just to change the lens to take another picture.
Yeah,
it's there. And speaking of like roller cases, soft cases, hard cases, are you a soft carry case guy or a hard carry case person?
Soft.
You're a soft. Okay. So why?
I can pack more stuff into a good quality bag. Like me personally, I use Think Tank Airport Takeoff, I believe. That's the one of those.
Yeah.
Like to be fair, I recently changed after 9 years. My bag died on me.
Oh.
And by that, I just mean the kind of extending arm just kind of broke off.
Yeah.
9 years of pure abuse going with me around the world, and 9 years of usage from a bag. I call it a win.
Honestly, it's good value for money. Like when you buy quality and it lasts not of a lifetime, but 9 years of, like I said, abuse.
Yeah,
traveling around the world, it's good.
But yeah, I've tried Peli cases, but
not a fan,
especially with Canon glass. They're slightly on the bigger side.
Yeah,
so I can pack a lot less in a Peli case. On top of that, being a frequent flyer, like whenever they see Peli cases and I want to take them on board, they're like, can we weigh that? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah.
And with a soft case, it's more or less, or like, let's say 80% of the time, I don't have any issues. 20% of the time, it's like, so sir, this is a very small plane. Can you drop it into our main compartments? Like,
no.
I've one tip: don't argue. Just be extremely polite and say this. Excuse me. Let me show you something. So I open it back. So, which one of those things can I take on the plane, because your rule is that no batteries and nothing expensive can go in to the main kind of baggage drop, right? And every single time they're like, oh, okay, never mind. This bag will fit, right? Yes, it will. It is certified that it will fit the overhead bins.
Yeah.
No arguing, nothing, just show them.
Yeah, simple. That works.
Yes, just my rule of thumb on every single airport. Every time you approach a counter, already have a smile on your face. Be nice, be polite. It helps immensely.
Yeah, and if you haven't ever worked retail, go work retail. Like you will experience all of this on the other side of the fence. Yeah, and then you appreciate how people get treated, and then you should treat them the same and be nice.
Yes.
And speaking of airports, a question I like to ask, especially for frequent flyers, frequent travelers, like yourself, and in previous episodes, we've already spoken about like how we don't normally get to see the city or country we visit because we're too busy working, or you're too busy working. I see the country a little bit. What is your favorite airport to have flown past through?
Wow.
I can ask you the favorite country you've been to, but as a freelance photographer, you go to so many countries, you don't really see the country itself. You see the airport, you get a taxi to your hotel or to the venue, and that's the three places you see. So, favorite airport is probably a nicer question of, what is your favorite airport to have flown through?
This is probably gonna be a weird answer.
No,
a lot of people hate that airport.
Okay,
but me personally, I love the Copenhagen. Airport.
Oh, Copenhagen's great. Yeah, that's a lovely airport.
I really, really enjoy that one. I'm in love with the new Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
They've opened it like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's absolutely spectacular. I loved it there. And see, that's probably it.
Yeah, no, that's fine then. Yeah, Copenhagen's a lovely airport. I've not been through Abu Dhabi just yet, but I can see how it could be quite nice. As final question on the gear side of stuff, some technical questions. A normal event day for you working at the LEC, working during the LEC splits, is, I would say, probably on a normal day, what? 10 hours on your feet? Maybe more?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Depending, of course, if the games are super long or short.
Yeah.
Again, depending on the meta, depending on the patch, and so on.
Yeah.
But roughly, I would say 10 hours because it's always a few hours before the show starts because we have to prep. If we have any ideas, any stuff, and that's additional to the kind of standard content is needed, and so on. I would say 8 to 10 hours,
8 to 10 hours. So 8 to 10 hours on your feet.
Yes.
What shoes do you wear on working days?
Maybe not recently, but for the past 3 years, I've been buying the same pair over and over again.
Okay.
They keep dying on me every half year because the sole of the shoe is so soft that because of the friction, it just tears off layer by layer super fast. But it's just a pair of kind of, I don't know, how do you call it, like slip-on. Slip-ons.
Yeah.
Skechers.
Okay, Skechers. Interesting.
Super breathable.
Yeah.
And they, at least for my foot, they kind of fit me like a glove.
Yeah.
Never had an issue that I lost one. But yeah, they die on me. Like every half year, I just change a pair. And for the past year, I have a constant 2 pairs that just in case if one breaks or anything happens, I just grab the new one.
Yeah.
And my lovely wife is helping me manage that.
Oh, bless her. So, okay, Skechers. Interesting. I asked this because, like, again, most people in the events space, in esports event space, we are on our feet a lot. Like, the job doesn't require you sitting down much, if at all, depending on what you do. So you're on your feet a lot, and wearing the right footwear helps so much. And so we've had answers from New Balance to Hoka's to now Skechers. We have obviously said no to boots unless you are on a build day and you're building stages. But boots are a no-go because they just don't offer any. No. So yeah, Skechers, interesting. But buying them every 6 months, every half year, like, I'm not sure what that says about the build quality or how much mileage you put in those shoes, Michal.
Not like it's all about the mileage. Like I have an additional pair that is just, let's say, for my personal use.
Yeah,
and they've been solid for 2 years. Just a little bit of wear and tear.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about the conditions that we work in.
Yeah.
And as you said, the mileage. Like on average, like the Berlin studio isn't big. Like it's on the compact side.
Sure.
It's like the audience is 200, 250?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
But I still somehow manage to do between 15 and 20,000 steps every single time. I don't know how, I don't know when or why. Why I know, but how I still don't know. But it's like between 15 to 20,000 steps every single show day.
Oof.
Every single day.
Oof. That's a lot of steps.
And don't even don't even get me started on kind of events when we have like gigantic venues.
Oh, this
Like that. What's your biggest score when it comes to events and steps?
So so me personally, I'm not much of a walker when it comes to events. If especially when I'm like there for myself, because I've not worked too many shows. The highest I've had was probably 45 to about 50,000 steps.
Yeah.
So not that many.
That was me during the finals for CS:GO.
Yeah.
in Paris, like 55,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Like 55k plus.
Yeah.
And was like 25 or 30 stories.
Just up and down.
That was intense.
But
we were constantly running, just no time to breathe. On top of that, the final wasn't too long.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, the day was still amazing, but my feet were killing me the next day.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Last proper question, and then we move on to socials and whatnot. Like, we've spoken, you've spoken a lot about what you've done, how you do things, like what you expect from people and what people expect from you. And we've just spoken about like how a normal working day is 10 hours on your feet, running around, on a big event day like CSGO in Paris, 55,000 steps, 20, 30 stories, non-stop, go. Like, what is one thing you want people to know about your role? Like, and again, you've also mentioned like not doing this just to meet your idols in these sports. Don't ever do that. But like, what is one thing? If there is one thing people should take away from listening to this episode and knowing and wanting to do what you do, what would you tell them?
Immediately, one quote just popped into my head. It's going to be somewhat relevant, but I will quote my dear friend Trevor Quickshot Henry. He used to have a kind of thing before every single show day, because he would manage all of the talent, all of the casters, and so on. It's like he would come up to every person and just like fist bump and look you dead in the eye. Don't be shit.
Wow.
This quote just stuck in my head from the very first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
I even immediately knew that he didn't mean anything bad. That was just kind of his catchphrase.
Yeah.
But it was so meaningful. It was so deep. Like,
it works.
I will not be shit today.
Yeah. Don't be shit.
But to give you like a maybe more proper answer.
Yeah, don't be shit. That's kind of fun. And I'll give you some examples of obviously what other people have already
do it for the right reasons.
Do it for the right reasons. Yeah.
Make history. Capture history. Capture the moment. Be in that moment. Be a part of the moment. That's the one thing I maybe kind of wanna think that after an event is done, after all of the photos are kind of out there. Again, I don't expect praises or anything like that, but just enjoy the work that we put in to capture that photo. because it wasn't as simple as click, it's done.
Yeah.
No, it's really not that. This job is really hard. It is very taxing on you, and it is extremely demanding. Say what you want about photographers. Yes, we push buttons, we play with sliders, we do all of that stuff. But please, for the love of God, don't say that our job is easy, because it's not.
Amen. Amen to that, for sure. Honestly. Well, right, that's my line of questioning finished, Michal. Thank you very much for your time. You've talked a lot, which isn't a problem because this is a podcast and the whole point is talking. So hopefully you are not too tired. Last bits of the podcast, really, as always. Where can people find you? Anything you want to shout out? Like the floor is yours once again.
First of all, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me. When it comes to where to find me, mostly Twitter. Just at Konkol Michal. That's where you'll find me. That's where at least I try my absolute best to post something meaningful, something good. I'm terrible at Instagram. I'm even worse when it comes to updating my portfolio on on Flickr. I'm only a year behind.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, the only Flickr that is up to date, it's the LEC and VCT1. I promise to do better, but I say that all the time, and then I don't. But happy to say that I'm quite busy, so I really don't have the time to do it properly, and I don't like to do a half-ass job. So, again, mate, absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Thank you, Michal. Thank you for your time. And no, honestly, you guys, please check out Michal's work. All the links will be in the description below. Please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. This is on YouTube. This is on Spotify. There is a dedicated Blue Sky account for this podcast now, so go check that out. Michal, again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for telling us some amazing stories and giving insights to what you do, how you do it, how you got there, and for all the advice that I'm going to personally take on as well. Guys, thank you for listening. I will catch you guys in the next episode. So, see you later.
Cheers.